Your website's terms of service don't always have to be so confusing. Something that made me think about this was I'm a big Seth Godin fan, and today I got his blog post. He sends it by email. You can sign up for it right over here. And in it, he mentioned about how doing the best for your customers, customer traction, growing the business. A lot of times you can lose focus on a lot of the small things. And one of them that he mentions is you can work hard on the logo or double your supplier roster. Or as I once did, spend time with your corporate lawyers brainstorming the way to make your terms of service more interesting. And it just takes me back to, you know, a mentor that I worked with once talked about how he uses his contracts, especially when it's a contract with a client, a customer, to really shape the relationship, to start it off on a good footing, as opposed to just being a dry legal document. And it made me think about, I've tried to do that for clients as well. It's actually very hard to do that because it's much easier to make it a dry, boring legal document. But I do have a lot of clients that we like our clients. We want to have a good relationship with them. We don't want it to be just a legal business relationship. So we want the terms of service to flow better to, whether it's a client contract or terms of service, master service agreement, whatever type of contract it is. But the most we enter into our terms of service is you want it to have, be number one, something that they can understand so they're just not confused. And also have it maybe help the relationship, talk about, good things in sometimes. So I just wanted to go through, a couple of terms of service that some larger companies have. Evernote, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the Evernote one I remember from years ago because I think I remember probably when I signed up for them seeing it and I was like, wow, that's written really well. And it is, and they do it like, in a question and answer type of a format. What is the Evernote service? If this is a contract, who are the parties? Is this the only contract I have with Evernote? And it just goes through and walks through in a very easy to understand way by doing this question and answer format. So that's one way to do it that, is nice. Twitter just has, a pretty straightforward, as basic as possible for what they're trying to do type of a terms of service. And it's well laid out. It's, it's not overly long, although, you're speaking to a lawyer here. So what's long to us for a legal contract is different to what other people use, but it's written pretty clear that I don't need to be a lawyer to read it, but it does still have a lot of the legalese language in there, which could make it a little more complex for non-lawyers. And then another good one is LinkedIn. And what I liked, and I know there's other websites I've seen that have done this, but I can't think of it off the top of my head who does it, is there's like the legalese part here, but then they do it in a quick breakdown of what kind of in layman's terms, what is this? The quick, easy, contract. When you use our service, you agree to all the terms. Your use of the service is also subject to our cookie policy and privacy policy. They break it down nice and easy. This contract applies to members and visitors. We may make changes, so you know that it's only they can make changes to the contract and not you. So it's done really nice where they have it in these one simple words, but then of course their lawyers were like, no, you still have to protect yourselves better, and then they have the full legalese there. So that's another way to do it. I really like this way. Again, doing these contracts are a lot harder than just putting it straight into legalese, boring and dry terms that just cover our client as much as possible. But making it something like this that's easier to understand, that kind of sets you off on like, all right, these guys are not just trying to screw me. They're trying to let me know what is going on. But I get that they're still a corporation. They still have to have lawyers that protect them, things like that. So hope you guys like this. Feel free to subscribe below. Feel free to order my free book. And let me know if you have any questions. Jason Rosenblum here. Thanks for watching.